just noticed this squirrel dining table. You can see where the pine cones have been chewed, and these are the scales from the pine cones where the squirrel has eaten the seeds from the middle. So yeah, that's a squirrel dining table. I just wanted to show you the sort of, this is the value of kind of fallen wood, which is sadly quite rare in our environment now. You can see how many holes and little pot marks are in here, and this is an absolute bonanza for little grubs and beetle larvae as they chew down in this wood and recycle the nutrients to give back to the trees. There's Ned over there saying, I've got my ball here and you're not throwing it for me. Neddy, come here. Come here. The browse line is beautifully illustrated there. It's about 4 foot off the ground, that margin between the grass and the blossom. And you can see that's where the line where the deer browse. You can see it there too with the willow. Really marked line between the grass and the shrubs and trees. Here's a badger dining table altogether, a bit more messy. They've been digging up the bluebell bulbs. So actually I'll take these back and put them in my garden. You can see they're just sort of rootling around for grubs and little critters in the soil, but I'll rescue some of these bluebells and put them in my garden. But yeah, this is badger activity. They've got really strong claws and aren't afraid to use them, quite frankly. So yes, I'll gather up some of these bulbs and take them back with me. I've got grass all over my borders, and I have patches of bare earth in other parts of the garden. So what I do is I take the grass up from the borders and put it onto the bare patches. And in these bits that I've scraped off, that the chickens have helpfully sort of scarified for me, I'm going to sow some birdseed. So I've got some birdseed here, which is, it's got millet and wheat and, actually I think there might be oats, and sunflower seeds and some other little bits and bobs in there. And it's quite a cheap and easy way to get some good seeds into your borders, just sort of annual seeds. So I'm just going to sow these, and then I'm going to cover them with this is a metal queen excluder from one of my hives, and peg it down with some tent pegs so that Madam here can't scratch it all up. No! 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 Nobody needs to see that. Yeah. Foiled. So the chickens prepare the ground for me, and the moles get me some beautiful soil. So I'm just going to sprinkle some of this over the seeds where I've just planted them, just to protect them a bit. No, get off. Here's my broody. She's sitting really well. Look, you can see she's a kind of, it's like a big duvet over her eggs. She has been coming out for some food and water. So yeah, she's doing okay. So she's got a couple more weeks of this, well, about 2.5 weeks actually. And but she's a nice big hen in good condition, so I'm not at all worried about her. Then there'll be chicks. First batch of the season. So here's Snowy. She's actually quite a lot brighter. She's kind of eating, you see she's eating a bit of cauliflower here. But she has actually been a bit more keen to eat pellets of her own volition without me having to feed her. But poor thing, she had a bit of an accident. I'd had some, she's barely been walking very much, so I assumed she'd sort of, if I plonked her down, she'd kind of sit still. But she ended up walking and actually walked across my, it wasn't a raging bonfire, but basically she walked across the kind of smoking pile of shavings that I'd had been smouldering for a little while, and unfortunately she ended up getting a bit of a, well, not a burnt bottom, but she burnt the feathers on her bottom. So she is fine. She does look a little bit, she's a bit embarrassed because it's she's not looking her best, bless her, and she has been a bit in the wars, but she's fine. She's not, her skin didn't burn, it's just feathers are a bit like hair. For anyone that's had a child at a Christingle service, you know, they burn sort of very incredibly quickly, so they don't actually burn up. But yeah, she's unfortunately she's got some, and she won't get those feathers back now until she grows them new again after she molts, which I don't know when that'll be. So yes, poor Snowy, she's not having a great time at the moment, are you, love? But she is definitely much better in herself, and she got up into the coop on her own last night, which is the first time she's done that in weeks and weeks. So yeah, hopefully. Oh, there we go. I have been putting, thank you, Ralph. I have been putting honey on her tail just to soothe it, because it did look a bit pink after the sizzling incident. So yeah, that's poor hen. Maybe I should rename her Kentucky. whole thing down with propolis. Hello girls. So,
Yeah.
there we go. So this is called the crown board.
Right.
And this stuff is propolis.
Okay.
So, and this is a super. I'm just going to give them a quick puff, just to keep them nice and calm, so you can see.
Yeah. Is that heavy with all the honey in? Has it got?
It's not got much honey in.
No.
You can see there aren't many. There's not much capped. So I'm just going to pop this down on here, just because I don't know where the queen is. So just gently pop it down on there, and the bees can still move around. And just pop it down. That's right. So I'm just going to pop this
I think
down
that
here.
needs to be here.
Feel a little bit. And this is all pollen in there. You can see that yellow pollen.
Yeah.
So this is the start of the kind of stores area.
Right.
So that's a different, so it's not honey. Can you see the grubs in the bottom there? The white grubs in the bottom?
Oh yes, I see. Yes.
Yeah, so they're the grubs. And
Wow, that's amazing.
there's probably eggs in there.
So
and
that is that
well.
pollen then?
No, that's all brood, so that's all capped.
Okay, I
babies.
see. So there's babies with caps on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're, yeah, if you just hold it down. Okay. So I'm just going to really carefully pop this back on in the same orientation. See that one with pollen on her? Absolutely covered in.
Really pollinated.
Yes.
Oh look, it's like beautiful.
And have a
So
smell.
sweet. Oh, that smells beautiful, doesn't it?
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to put from capped. It takes about 21 days from egg to hatching, so like a chicken.